Hi, my name is Alexa Smith, and I am presenting on my innovation of Running Start in um, high school and online for high school students to encourage them to continue on with their post-secondary education. So the community I chose to focus on for this project was the community that I just recently moved to, Puyallup, Washington. Puyallup is a suburb of Tacoma and Seattle, um, and people might think it's kind of like out in like the farmland, but it's really lately being developed. Something that drew us to Puyallup personally was that it was one of the more affordable areas in kind of the greater Seattle Tacoma area. A lot of real estate is pretty booming in those areas, and even where we moved from, which was a more popular suburb of Seattle, the houses are like twice as much as they are in Puyallup, so it's kind of a nice shock for us. Um, but after moving here, it made me interested in finding out about the community and kind of what issues there were, what resources there were for people who needed them, and just kind of like all of that. So I did learn that we have an amazing view of Mount Rainier, which you can see from almost anywhere in Puyallup, which is kind of a nice touch to the small town feel that this city does have. But what really stuck out to me is that in Puyallup, there are 4,202 people who are living in poverty, and 12% of children living in Puyallup are living in poverty. For many, that may seem like a small number, but for me, I was shocked because I feel like no child should be living in poverty, and people should be doing anything they can to want to remedy that and make a change. So the more research I did, I realized that 31% of Puyallup residents have completed at least some amount of college, while only 27% of residents have a bachelor's degree or higher. Due to the affordability of living in Puyallup, this kind of surprised me a tiny bit. The median household cost is $258,000, which may seem like a pretty average price for a house, but in Western Washington, that is extremely low. Like I stated before, the city that we moved from, houses are twice as much for like a small house. So 258,000 an hour north of here would get you like maybe a tiny condo. So this was surprising to me that so many people were still living in poverty, and the only thing I could contribute it to was really a lack of a college degree. And so that is where I found the problem. And I found that the issue was that people in Puyallup weren't motivated to go on to college and get jobs because they were just fine where they were. And it's a lot of blue collar working here. Yeah, I just realized that there was so much more potential for so many more people to go on to college and go on and get those bachelor's degrees and graduate degrees. And for a booming city, I feel like that is really important because Puyallup is blowing up and up and up. And in order for everyone to continue to grow with the city, it's important for people to have their college degrees so that they're able to keep up with the growing cost of living. Um, so some of the solutions I came up with were a spin on like that AVID curriculum, which is a curriculum that motivates students to go to college, and basically just like really supporting that showing of pride in college from teachers starting from a very young age. So I know my daughter's in kindergarten right now, and she has already started like learning about where her teacher goes to college and all that. I wanted to take it a step up a notch and really enforce like a whole curriculum. So to do a whole curriculum for a whole part of the day, same as like reading, math, science, all that, like a specialized class, kind of like music or PE, where you're out of the class going to this curriculum class, um, in order to motivate students to go to college. But as we know, oftentimes students don't always want to just listen to you talk about college. Another thing that worries kids about going to college, and especially those with like lower incomes or lower incomes based on the cost of living for this side of the state, not necessarily just Puyallup, is that they don't know what jobs they can do when they get out of school, and they need to figure that out. And the cost of college scares people. I mean, when you have a middle schooler, high schooler who's looking at the fact that some college degrees are costing $50,000 or more, there's like sticker shock, because these 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds have never seen $50,000 in their life. So what I proposed and what I kind of worked around in my mind was coming up with a spin on the Running Start program. Basically making it so that there was no more barriers to students being able to utilize the Running Start program. I know that for students who are doing Running Start, they need access to a car, they need extra money for expensive textbooks, they sometimes need to buy themselves a laptop. And these are all things that are barriers to even middle class families for kids to take advantage of this awesome program for free or reduced college. So my idea is to put Running Start in the high school. And we can do that by bringing the professors to literally hold a class session in one of the classes at the high school, like one of the classroom settings, or to allow these students to be able to utilize these online programs in order to complete their associate's degree before they graduate, which would mean that they would be able to use the school's computer labs or check out the school's laptops. Anything they need to succeed in these college courses would be provided by the high schools. And that is just something that would be so amazing, because kids wouldn't have to worry about transportation. They wouldn't have to worry about having adequate computers. They wouldn't have to worry about getting their homework done, because it would all be provided for them at the high school. In this problem, I am an educator. I currently work as a behavioral therapist in a low-income high school. And I just see such a need for these kids who tell me every day that they feel like they're not going anywhere, and they feel like they're never going to go to college, because why do they even try? Because the world is already stacked against them financially, emotionally, like they have no support from their families. I want to make it so that kids who are motivated to go to college have the support they need to succeed. And by giving them their associates before they even graduate high school, and making sure it's an option, making sure they can't say no to this amazing opportunity because there's literally no barriers for them, is going to motivate them to continue on to their bachelor's degree, to continue on to their master's degree, and to make a better life for themselves. So what I'm asking is for funding to get computers for our kids, and for grants to fund the cost of having professors come in to the high school and utilize classrooms in order to teach our college courses at the high school. In return, you will get well-rounded individuals who are graduating from high school with their associate's degrees already and ready to complete the last 2 years of college and be out in the workforce. You'll have responsible teens who stay out of trouble because they feel a sense of purpose. You'll have more people for the workforce, which is better for the economy, and you'll have happier students all around. So I really hope that you can consider giving funding for our computers and our professors to come teach at our high school so that we can give every student an opportunity to take these Running Start courses and get a head start on their college degrees.